Hello and welcome to another edition of Siano on the Sidelines. We're your hosts today. I'm Joshua Hoffman.
And I'm John Crawford. Today is April 11th, and we will be going over the beginning of spring sports and interviewing the members of Sterling's half marathon team, Coach Strauss, and senior captain of the team, Caro Revaitis.
More from them in a moment, but let's start with the progress of our spring sports and how they've been doing in the beginning parts of the 2025 campaigns. First up's baseball. How's baseball doing? They're 5-1. That's the best start since 2017, 2018.
Yeah, baseball's 5-1. I mean, yesterday we had a huge win at Collingswood. Go 7 strong innings, complete game. Dean had 3 hits, all around great game. Johnny Orlando made some great plays at second base. Team's off to a great start, so let's keep that going and let's try to win this division.
That's great. Great start for baseball.
All right, next up, softball is 3-2 to begin the season. They got a new coach this year, Emily Kozaneski.
Yeah, Coach K's daughter is stepping up to the plate here as the head coach of the softball team, and she's doing a great job. For me, the big sticking point was, are the girls having fun? Are they, learning, taking care of business, and that's what's going on. I know Karina can agree that the team's doing great, off to a 3-2 start. So, again, let's keep the ball rolling on that one.
Next up's boys lacrosse. We're off to a great start. It's 5-1. It's big conference win against Haddon Township.
We also have athlete of the month, Josh Hoffman, in net this year. He has 48 total saves this season, and he's a big part of our success this year on the defense.
Defense is playing a great game up front. Just play our game, do what we got to do.
Yeah, so how do you feel in goal? How are you feeling? You feel like defense is supporting you?
Yeah, no, the boys are playing big up front. They're doing their job, knocking the ball down, just doing whatever they got to do to protect me in the back.
All right, so what was your favorite game so far?
The Haddon Township game.
Why? Because it was
far.
Close?
Yeah.
The 9-8 win?
overtime.
Yeah, that was a huge game. Great game to watch.
It's a great game to play.
Yeah, definitely was.
All right, next we have girls lacrosse. How are they doing this year?
They're 2-3 or 3-2.
So what's the real record here? They're 4-2. There you go. That's what I thought. All right, so they're 1-2 in conference. Tony here with 37 goals, 10 assists, and 57 draw controls. Cesar is doing her part with 23 goals as well, 13 assists, and 16 draw controls. Monty's been a huge addition to the team here. Let's go back to that stats real quick, if you could. All right, 21 goals, 28 assists. That's a huge number of assists there, 14 draw controls. And Bianca has been great in goal. So she had 35 saves in the last 5 games. So they're off to a good start as well.
Big win against Washington Township for them.
Huge win versus Washington Township. And we got a couple games here next week that are big ones at Williamstown and Northern Burlington. I believe they're going to play on the grass for Northern Burlington next Thursday. And then during break, they're going to be playing Washington Township. So that's another huge game there. And then they owe Haddon Township from the previous game. So I'm sure they have that one checked on their calendars.
Next up, we have the golf team. They're off to a 2-5 start with some tough matchups, but Zach Capelli has had some great performances, and he's a 2-sport athlete at the moment. How does that work?
So by NJSIA rules, you can play a contact sport as well as a non-contact sport. So some are considered contact sports that you would never think. Like an example would be track because of the landings for the jumps and that kind of stuff. They consider that a contact sport. Because it's not contact in golf, Zach's able to participate in lacrosse as well as golf, and he's contributing on both ends. I don't know how he has the time to balance that. It's quite impressive, and I'm hopefully going forward we'll have some more student athletes who are able to do the same thing.
And he's doing great on both ends. Great lacrosse player, great golf player.
Awesome at both.
Next we have boys track. They're off to a 1-1 start this year, and Bright John tied the long jump school record.
Yeah, it didn't take long. I mean, I was driving around in my car, and within 5 minutes, I feel like Bright accomplished something for himself. Another record for his season there. He tied our long jump record. I want to say it was, 22 feet 6 inches and a quarter, something along those lines. Very impressive. Obviously, he has the rest of the season, so I'm expecting that one to be broken and him to hold that record.
Backtrack to girls lacrosse real quick. Tony scored her 200th goal.
How could we forget about that? 200 goals. That's like an incredible feat. I'm expecting her. Look at this graphic. I'm expecting her to push for 300 by the end of the season. That's how well she's been playing so far to start this year. So hopefully she gets that done.
Yeah, she definitely could.
Yeah, she definitely could.
And then after that, we have girls track. Girls track, Mia Rublinger, Amber Wilsey, Casey Luna, Brianna Gilligan, Emily Curtis, and Izzy Petruno all traveled to Cherokee for the night of the 3200s. All 6 of them had PRs, and Izzy and Brianna Gilligan won their heats.
Yeah, so I was joking around with Coach Coppolino this morning asking if the track was a little bit shorter than what it usually is, because how do we have 6 PRs in one day? Awesome for them. Like, really great group of kids. Going to happen to a better group of kids. They all worked their butts off, so it's been very impressive to watch them competing. And I look forward to seeing them race next week when we have a home meet.
Girls track also has Taylor, one of the athletes of the month, Taylor Frazier. She's been struggling with some injuries for the past 2 years, but this year's been a big year for her. She PR'd in the 800, and she's one of the top athletes on the team.
Yes, she is. That 800 is a tough race, and I wouldn't want to be doing that. So all the respect to her, and just a quick shout out again, athlete of the month, Taylor. You, Josh, congratulations. That's a great feat.
Thank you.
Boys tennis begins their season 1-3 with a big win over Glassboro. How are the boys doing this season?
I would love to be able to deflect this one to Coach Strauss. I'm not going to do that, though. Struggling in some areas. I know that the numbers for the team are not where they want them. But, we did get a big win there against Glassboro, and we have some winnable matches coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. And I know, like I said last time, I had the perfect guy coaching that team, so they'll be all right by the end of the year.
Volleyball starts at 2-3. They've had some tough matchups, but they play today and look to improve their record. They've had some tough games, tough battles.
Yeah, it seems like volleyball has like the toughest schedule I've ever seen. We got some big schools we're playing. We had Lenape in here the other day. They're incredible. It's a tough match for them. Cinnamon today, RV coming up, Triton, Seneca. So these are all bigger schools, but we're off to a good start. We have an impressive team. I feel like the team has taken that next step from last season, so they're very close to being a complete team. So we hope that the leadership shines through and they come together and they just continue improving.
Definitely. Boys are playing great.
The career fair was today for the juniors. That entails you walk around and try to find your career, what you want to do after high school.
Lots of tables, lots of job opportunities for everyone to look around, see what they're interested in.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of this day. When I was at Overbrook as a teacher, I was always on the committee that helped to run the career fair. So it's awesome to see these companies and like all these vendors come in and they want to help kids find a job, find a career path, kind of point them in a direction that is not necessarily education. So it's awesome. It's just a great day, and I'm glad that our juniors were able to get that done.
Our neurodiversity walk also takes place this upcoming Thursday. If you purchase a bracelet for about $5, you are able to leave early and go walk around, and just learn about neurodiversity and things like that.
Yeah, so the hope there is that the weather is nice, and I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. But hopefully we have a nice day. We get out there and enjoy our walk for neurodiversity. Am I up here with my side notes? Oh, I don't have a cool graphic this time? Oh, there it is. That's what I was waiting for right there. Awesome. Okay, so I have 2 things I want to touch on today. The first thing is I just want to give a quick shout out to Coach McDonald. All right, Coach McDonald, yes, she got her 300 career win this year. She is stepping down from the girls basketball program to spend more time with her family. Every coach gets to that point. Every coach has to make that tough decision, and for her, it's time. And I just want to congratulate her on a very successful career, and the future's bright for her family. And any way she can help with our basketball team, that would be awesome. Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations.
My next point here is my last thing before I leave here. We are in the middle of spring sports. We're in the beginning of spring sports, I should say. With that being said, there is constant weather. Okay, all I am doing is working behind the scenes to make sure that these games are getting rescheduled and we're playing them in a timely fashion, rescheduling buses, doing everything I have to do as part of my job. Please, if you're a parent, guardian, community member that wants to come to a game, check our website frequently. Our school is the first thing I do. So when I find out that we're not able to play a game, I immediately switch that to we're rescheduling to this date on our school so everybody's aware and everyone's in the loop. I don't want anyone coming here unless they really have to come here for an event. So I appreciate you guys keeping track of that and doing the right thing. And as always, go Knights.
And that's how everyone. For now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll be interviewing the half marathon and boys tennis coach, Mr. Strauss, and one of the captains of the half marathon team, Revaitis. We'll be back right after this short break.
Where are you going? There's the varsity wall. Where's that? Come on, everybody.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. Come on, like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good creeping up on you, so just dance.
We
all
walk
together. Hope to see you on April 17th.
Hello and welcome back to our second portion of Siano on the Sidelines. A big thanks to Mr. Siano for joining us in that first segment. Now joining us for our second segment is our very own Mr. Rob Strauss and Senior Revaitis from not only our sports broadcasting class, but also runs with our Sterling Half Marathon team. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Coach Strauss, who will be running his 8th marathon in less than 2 weeks at the Boston Marathon, founded the half marathon team in 2019, and since its inception, the team has had over 60 staff, students, and community members participate in the annual 13.1 mile race in Atlantic City each April. Senior Revaitis named one of the captains from this year's team and just completed her second half marathon. We welcome both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Wow, that's a big feat, 13.1 miles. That's, that is not a...
It's a long way.
Yeah.
It's a long way.
But we got some questions here for them. Our first one for you, Mr. Strauss. How did the half marathon team start?
We started the team. It was actually kind of a funny story. One of my officers back from 2018 was on the cross country team, and I made a joke with her at the very beginning of her freshman year. I'm like, so what do you do around here? And she said, I run cross country. And I said, joke, funny, haha, before you graduate, we're going to run a half marathon together. And so little did she know, at the beginning of her senior year, I followed up with her, and I'm like, so what do you think? She's like, yeah, let's do it. And so shout out Carly Redfern and Lizzie Brown, who graduated in 2019, and we ran the Philadelphia Half Marathon together in November of that year of 2018. And I'm like, hey, if I can get these students to do it, I wonder who else I can get to do it. Yeah. And that's when we found the AC Half Marathon in April, and it worked out perfectly. You train in January, it brings us right up to April, and it was really, really cool. And, we've been doing it ever since.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That brings us into our next question. Describe the short and long-term connections you have with some of your runners.
I mean, I still talk to Carly a lot, and her family, and they're awesome. And the short term, obviously, we spend every weekend together, and it's a big process to go through this, because it's hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it, right? So, the long term, I don't know if Coach Phillips and I will ever see. And I got to give Coach Phillips a humongous shout out because she's been such an instrumental part of this team as well, helping us coach and get these kids across the finish line. She's a 3-time Boston Marathon qualifier and 3-time finisher. So she's incredible. She does a great job with our team and is awesome. But we'll never see, I don't think, the long-term effects of this. But hopefully this is something that all the runners can remember for the rest of their lives, that they did something that only like 0.5% of the world's population could say that they did once, let alone multiple times.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's very special. Can you walk us through the registration process and to race day, kind of from to prepare everyone for 13.1 miles?
Yeah, so you can actually sign up for next year's race now for the 2026 race, believe it or not, which just ended last Sunday, and it reopens actually today or earlier in the week. As soon as you finish the first race, you actually get a much cheaper rate.
Yeah,
if you sign up now,
That's
it's a lot cheaper now if you sign up, like the month before. But we usually get it. We have a meeting usually in December, and then we start our first runs in January, and we meet every Saturday or Sunday, depending on which weather day is better. And we start low. We start at like 2 miles, 3 miles, somewhere in there. We try and pair everybody up depending on what pace they are and what ability level they are. And then we slowly bring you up to 10 miles, and then we taper you back down to race day. And then once race day shows up, you run 13.1 and cross the finish line. You get a fancy medal here and a really cool shirt that Cammie's showing off.
Hey.
And you get the glory that goes along with it. So it's really special. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's a long process, especially to prep, because that's a really big race. For both of you, what emotions did you experience during the course of the race?
I defer to Cammie on this one. I'll go to Cammie on this one.
Well, starting the race, I was full of adrenaline, and I started with Strauss, and about mile 5, my happiness went down a little bit. Let's just say I told Strauss I didn't care what time I came in. I didn't care if I walked most of it. I just wanted to finish. But the whole time, I was happy. I didn't care if I was going to come in at 3 hours or an hour. I didn't care. I just wanted to do it with Strauss, you know. That was the main thing the whole time during training. I told him I just wanted to stay with him the whole time and enjoy it, because this was probably going to be my last one.
Oh, that's very special. That's nice. Yeah. Honestly, if I'm going through a race like that, I would probably break down around mile 3. But for Cammie, describe how felt running 13.1 miles and what the training was like to prepare.
So last year I did my first one, and let's just say I was not expecting to finish the first time around. I was just doing it for fun. And this year was more of like a goal to beat my record last year. So training for this, I took this year much more seriously. Going to every training run like with a good mindset, trying to get my minutes down. You know, I was just excited to be with the people that were doing it. Like me and Jaina. Shout out to Jaina. She did amazing, by the way. Yeah, I just had a fun time running with her and Nora and Strauss. And yeah, I thought the training process and being with the people was more fulfilling for me than actually finishing it.
Yeah, that leads us into our next question. What experiences and friendships have you gained from this race, and that you wouldn't have without it?
Well, Nora is a freshman, and I started playing soccer with her this year. And I had that connection with her from soccer, but this half marathon definitely brought us closer. Yeah. And same with Jaina. Like, we did track together. We're doing track together this year. We're both seniors. And this definitely brought us closer, thank God. Like, I love Jaina, and I didn't think I would be this close with her if it weren't for the race.
Do you have any favorite moments from the race? Or just like training?
I'm interested to hear your favorite moment.
We saw a fox.
We did
during the run.
Yes,
that was really fun.
Yeah, big old fox. We saw it like mile 11,
yeah.
And I thought it was a cat, and it wasn't. Yeah. It was definitely. And so we actually stopped and took video. Yeah. We took video of it during the race,
I was like, this is awesome.
Which is cool. Yeah. What was your favorite?
Probably finishing the race with Strauss. And we had a nice picture that was up on the screen of us with our arms up.
Yeah.
I was just so happy to be done.
Yeah, it was cool. I think my favorite moment was, watching all the runners finish. And that's one of the things that we do is we always wait until the very, very last runner finishes. and the whole team is there, and it's just cool to see them come around that bend and see the finish line and realize the magnitude of what they just accomplished. And especially with like having the parents there and everything, having the parents there and the fans there to greet them, and there's some tears at the finish line for sure. Myself, I don't want to speak for Coach Phillips, but some of the parents that were not only spectating but also running with their kids, and that's really, really special to see. It's such a cool bond to see that. I know Nora's mom, Stephanie, ran with her. Not with her, but they ran the same race together, and her mom was, got to see her daughter finish, so that was really special. Really special.
Cammie, besides the physical component, how did you prep like mentally for the race? Because that's definitely a big factor.
Right. The week leading up to the race, I didn't stay out late at night. Strauss really got in my head. Every time I went to go out and get a sweet treat, I was like, no, you can't do this. You have to be ready for this race. So I definitely, I got a lot of rest that week, and mentally I was thinking about the outcome and how I would feel afterwards, saying I'm a 2-time half marathon runner before I graduated high school. So that's kind of where I was with that.
Yeah, that's a big feat to cross. I don't think many people can say that. Strauss, I have a question for you. How are you preparing for this Boston Marathon? Because that's a very special race.
This is a bucket list item for me for sure. And I was in Boston back in 2016 to go see Pearl Jam. I was with my buddies who are not runners. I'm like, guys, I have to see Boylston Street. I want to see the finish line, and I refused to get my picture on it. I would take a picture of it. I'm like, someday I'm going to earn the right to cross that finish line, and in 10 days, hopefully I'm lucky enough to do it. But I've been training for this since late December. Running 4 or 5 days a week and just grinding away, whether it's cold, it's raining, it's windy, whatever, just getting ready. And it's a lifelong dream, and hopefully it comes true the day after Easter. So we'll see what happens.
That's very special. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Cammie, a question for you. What would you tell people that are on the fence or about the half marathon, and why should they do it?
I think everyone should do this. I think everyone should be able to say that they've ran 13.1 miles or walked. Everyone's finished a half marathon. Yeah. I think it's just a really great experience and a great way to connect with like your friends or peers. And yeah, it feels so good once you finish that race, like cross the finish line. I felt so good about myself.
Yeah. What made you do it?
Strauss.
I'm a good salesman. What can I say? I can sell it.
He just told me, he was like, you should run this. And I was like, okay, why not? And then I showed up at the registration, or the night he was like talking about it, and I signed up that night.
That's perfect.
And then the second time after the first one, I swore I would never do it again. And then I had his class, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're locked in.
It's like, all right.
You're locked in.
He's got me. So I just did it again.
Pretty cool.
That's great. That's been really great information, and interesting. Yeah, no, that's and unique to hear, and that the high school has a half marathon team. If students, staff, or community members are interested in joining next year's team, how do they get involved?
All right, so contact me, contact Coach Phillips, and we can get you involved. We'll have a meeting usually like around late December. Okay. You can follow us on Instagram at Sterling Half Marathon, and we'll have updates and everything like that. You can sign up that day that we have our meeting and keep in touch with us and let us know what's going on. I just want to give a big shout out also, obviously, to the AC Race Committee, who has done a phenomenal job with all of our runners year in and year out getting our bid packets ready. And they do such a great job making sure that we have everything that we need. And we're a big group. And I show up there by myself and I grab everything for everybody. And they always have it ready for us. And they're so hospitable, and they give us a big shout out at the finish line this year, which was really cool to hear, like Sterling High School over the loudspeaker with all of our team there. So that was really cool. So I definitely want to shout them out, and our parents who did such great things. Bianca's mom did so much great little goodie bags for us and everything. The parents have been so supportive. And hopefully we have a bigger group next year, and hopefully maybe you're on board with us as well.
Hey,
yeah, no, you definitely got me intrigued.
We'll see.
I'll
we'll
be
see.
there.
You want
I'll
one
be
of these
there.
cool
Yeah,
medals?
it spins.
That medal is really cool. I'm sorry. But, yeah.
Hey.
That will do it for today's episode of Siano on the Sidelines. Thank you again, Ms. Siano, Mr. Strauss, and Caro Revaitis for joining us today. For the latest news and updates in Sterling sports, make sure you go follow Good Night Sports on Instagram. Our next show will be May 1st. where we will update spring sports and activities and also feature another special guest. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time, and as always,
Go Knights!